But a very wild knife, wild one, because it's white.
The white one?
No, this is the red one. That means if I want the red turns into the white one will turn into...
In this video, I'll reveal how Juan Luis fooled Penn and Teller with his color-changing knives trick. In case you haven't watched the act, here's a quick recap. Juan began by introducing a white pocket knife, claiming it was wild because it could somehow teleport, and as he said that, the knife vanished and reappeared inside his breast pocket. But then Juan accidentally exposed the knife he was originally holding in his right hand, except this time it was red, and after placing the white one down and picking it back up again, it instantly switched places with the red one. He repeated the effect once more by wrapping his fingers around the white knife, causing it to immediately turn red again. But when Juan went to show the white knife, it had now turned green, while the original white one had been sitting in his breast pocket the entire time. He then explained that the knives could also change color, but they followed a rule where only the knives themselves could switch colors with each other, and to demonstrate it, Juan picked up the white and red knives and said that if he wanted the red one to turn white, he could show it happening in real time. As he slowly rubbed his thumb over the red knife, it visually turned white, and after showing the other side and turning it back again, the entire knife was now white on both sides. He then placed the white knife into his breast pocket, and instantly the green knife turned white as well. Juan then gathered all three knives, covered them with a handkerchief, placed the white one on top, and instantly switched it with the red one. Then picked up the green knife and switched it with the white one, before finally throwing all the knives toward Penn for examination, which was the moment Penn and Teller immediately admitted they were completely fooled.
I feel like a deer in the headlights of love.
You've been binging videos on this channel, but you still haven't joined my Patreon for absolutely free, where you get early access to all the upcoming videos I've planned for this month. We now have over 800 members on board. Let's hit 1,000 this month. Membership is free to join, and for anyone who wants to support the project further, there are also optional supporter tiers available. Join for free right now by clicking the link in the pinned comment, then get back to watching this reveal video. The moment Juan handed over all three knives to Penn, the idea of using the paddle move was probably thrown out the window for most people familiar with classic magic tricks. A paddle move is basically when, while flipping over a stick or a paddle, the same side is shown twice, and on the left side, you can see an example of how it looks in real time, while on the right side, you can see how it's actually flipped. Well, Juan did use the paddle move, and it's the only sleight of hand move he used throughout his routine. There weren't any special gimmicks. Before I start the explanation, I need to go over all 6 knives he used during the performance. At first, 3 are the most important, as you can see in this animation. One side of knife number 1 is white, and the other is red. For knife number 2, one side is white and the other is green, but knife number 3 is gaffed. One side is completely white, while the other side isn't fully red, as you can see. The remaining 3 knives, numbered 4 to 6, are all normal, meaning they have the same color on both sides, and he starts the trick with knife number 1, showing only the white side face up, while making sure the red side stays hidden. In this slowed-down clip, you can see how he performs the paddle move, positioning his thumb behind the knife and pushing forward. There are 2 more variations of this handling that he uses later in the performance, and I'll get to those in a moment. He does a very open and exposed false transfer to his left hand, then reaches into his pocket to pull out knife number 2 while making sure the green side stays down. The first knife is then flipped to show the red side, and during that motion, he performs his second variation of the paddle move by positioning his thumb behind it, twisting it in one direction, and then twisting his hand. The key idea behind his technique is hiding the motion of his thumb by making larger movements with his fingers, since the bigger action covers the smaller action of the thumb secretly turning the knife. When he places the first knife next to the second one and flips his hand over, he's actually pulling out the same knife again, because knife number 2 is never twisted, meaning it stays white the entire time, while the first one is turned again to show the red side. The same move is performed once more. He's still holding the first knife in his right hand. But since his left fist is face down, the green side of the second one is now visible, which is why he turns this green. During the motion of his left fist, he performs another paddle move, except this variation is different because instead of using his thumb, he rotates the knife using all his fingers and rolls it against his palm. He then reaches into his pocket, pulls out knife number 3, and places the first knife right beside it. Since both of them have alternating colors, when he flips his hand over, we get a glimpse of the back, exposing the white back of the red-faced side and the red back of the white-faced side. This turning motion of his right hand actually helps hide the white portion of knife number 3, which he keeps hidden with his thumb until he gradually reveals it by sliding his thumb down. To show the other side, he performs the paddle move, and you can clearly see it in the slowed-down footage by positioning his thumb behind it and flipping it over. We actually catch the back of this knife, which is entirely white. Now he's about to do a switch. In his left hand, he grabs knife number 2, flips it over so only the white side is showing, and tries to switch knife number 3, the gaffed one, for knife number 4, which is entirely green on both sides. At this point, there's one examinable knife, the green one, and 2 knives on the right that still need to be switched out. That final switch happens at the end of the performance using the handkerchief. He picks up knife number 2, followed by number 1, and then number 4, and introduces a handkerchief that has knives 5 and 6 hidden inside one of its layers. When he pulls a knife out from under the cloth, he's actually pulling out knife number 1, but flips it face down so the white side is showing and the red side is hidden. Then he pushes knife number 2 forward without flipping it over, and the positioning of knife number 1, slightly forward on the handkerchief, helps it flip over to show the red side as he folds and unfolds the handkerchief. He then flips knife number 2 so the white side is face down, places it on top of the cloth, and performs the same turnover for knife number 2, making it turn white, and since we already know knife number 4 is entirely green on both sides, you can see him turning it over. Now he's all set to perform the final switch. This switch requires knife numbers 1 and 2 to stay inside the cloth. He drops knives 5 and 6 into his right hand, ditches the 2 knives in the cloth into his left pocket, pulls the cloth back out, and ends completely clean. So, basically, Juan was able to fool Penn and Teller with his incredible variation of the paddle move, which is honestly one of the cleanest versions I've ever seen any magician perform, and combining that with switching out those same knives for ordinary ones using the handkerchief, while also making the handkerchief itself feel like a natural phase in the routine, was really just the cherry on top. Behind this mask, only the truth remains till we meet again.